good afternoon there, sweet peas. Basic Prepper Mom Myra here. So one of the things in the increase in violence that people are saying, increase in crimes that's going to happen, is theft. Theft is definitely going to increase. Well, how does that look for you and your family? Well, if you raise a garden, if you raise livestock, everyone is kind of saying you might want to protect your garden, conceal it a little bit, protect your livestock as well. Which I don't know how you're going to conceal livestock, because if you have chickens, typically you have a rooster and they crow and they make noise, and you know, it's a little bit harder to conceal that. But if you have a garden, if you have livestock, make sure that you put up some sort of fencing, like privacy fencing. Make it a little bit more difficult for people to see. The fear is that as violence increases and as we look at more shortages and things that are out of stock, things that are harder to buy, or people just can't afford them, period, they're going to start going and looking at stealing things. Now, we all know that in a rural area, you are definitely going to have more livestock, you're going to have more gardens, you're going to also have more equipment that needs fuel, and typically you might have some fuel reserves. So food and fuel are going to be the two things that people coming into a rural area are going to expect to find. As the violence increases in the city, it's going to kind of keep spreading out into the kind of rural areas and then the more rural areas. So there is a school of thought that says, you know what, you need to protect your livestock and protect your gardens. So when we talk about protecting our food stores, not what you have prepared or put away, but your actual food preparedness that you're either growing or that you are raising, you might want to keep an eye on it. Now, for us, we're in a very disadvantaged situation. Unfortunately, we live in more kind of an agricultural based community. However, we do live off of a pretty main road. We have put up some kind of privacy fencing a little bit, but you can absolutely 100% still see what we have, mainly our animals and our livestock. So what we've done, other than putting up gates and fences and locks and things like that, is we have added LED lights outside, motion detected solar lights, really, really bright, as many lumen as I can get. And we strategically plant them or place them where they're facing our livestock or animals, but they're facing away from the house. So once those lights go off, whoever is in front of them around our animals, it actually will blind them. And if you try to look up toward the house, you can't see the house. So we kind of strategically place them all over. Now, I know that there are people that say, you know, you're just asking for trouble. You're lighting up like your Christmas tree. You're asking for trouble. I would much rather see what's going on and have them not really see where I'm at, rather than everything be in complete darkness. Now, I did order a pair of night goggle glasses, or night vision goggles glasses. And they weren't the most expensive ones, but they definitely were not the cheapest ones. And they didn't really work. They were more for hunting. So if you're in a very stationary position and you're just kind of watching one area, they worked really great. But if you were having to kind of scan the area quite a bit, it didn't really work out so great. So I returned those. I will now invest in more lights to go around my pens with my animals. Currently we have about let me think here. We actually have 2 lights out by my chickens and my goats. We have 1 light out by the pigs. And then we have 1 light that is actually in our driveway, but it's going down the driveway. So it's facing away from our porch and pointing down the driveway. Now, if you're driving up the driveway at night, like my kids do and my husband, they're like, that light blinds us every time. I'm like, well, it doesn't really blind you, so you're fine, but it's okay. It allows me to see down the driveway, and it absolutely blinds you enough to where you can't see the details of the house or anybody who's standing there. So we will be investing in more LED lights. I do like the solar. I do like the motion detectors. So I'm going to order a few more of those and place them around the property as well, in some areas that are kind of a little bit more hidden, a little bit easier to try to sneak in from. So we also do have predators, a few predators. So having the lights go off actually will scare the predators as well. So that is a deterrent. But I think that, do I think that we're going to get in a situation where we absolutely 100% need to do that? Like we need to really protect what we're growing? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be in a situation where you're going to walk into a grocery store and there will be literally empty shelves. There will be nothing in there anymore. I don't know that we're going to get to that point. But having said that, we have had some livestock thefts in about the last few months here in this county. So it is something that is concerning. And I definitely want to make sure that I protect what I have. So look at your area, look at your outside. You definitely want some secure areas on the outside of your house as well. But when you're putting up lighting, especially, look at where you're putting it. Put everything up the way that you think it'll work for you, and then wait until nighttime and go out there. And if they're motion detectors, walk around, set those lights off, and see exactly where you're at, what position you're in when those lights go off. You might need to adjust them. You might need to get different ones. You might need to add more. You might need to take away, whatever the situation. Make sure that you don't just stick up lights where you think are going to work for you. Go out at night, look at everything, reposition as needed. All right. So that is my spiel for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing day. Once again, if you have any questions and comments, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day.